Welcome to Crazy Turtle's Kitchen today. And we are going to make one of my favorite risotto recipes, which is a spring vegetable risotto. So I'm starting to see all these wonderful green vegetables and herbs in the grocery. And I always develop a craving for this. It's also a very, very nice addition to any sort of fancy meal. So it's super easy, just takes a little bit of time, and I'll work you through the steps. So here I've got my oil and butter. I am just going to melt that and then add 1 cup, roughly, or kind of like a medium onion, and minced garlic. So this will be about 5 minutes. I just want this to get a little bit translucent. And anytime I put butter in a pan with garlic, oh, it smells so fantastic. Makes me hungry already. So I like the color of my onions here, or the lack of color, the transparency of them. And I am going to add my risotto. If you've never, it's arborio rice. I have a couple recipes that I can use, I have on the channel that I'll link in the description. We're just going to coat this, get this started. And it is a wonderful type of rice. It is a great carbohydrate you can add to a meal that is gluten-free. And it absorbs so much liquid and gets creamy. So if you've never had it before or seen it, stay tuned because this just gets better and better. And I have here a cup of white wine, your preference. If you don't want to use wine, you could absolutely use some extra vegetable broth. If you're wanting to make this vegetarian, or you could use chicken broth to flavor it. That's your creative choice, and I'm leaving that up to you. So I am just going to get this. The rice is going to absorb this wine, and since I kind of said this is for a fancier meal, we are going to have a little wine with dinner tonight, so it just made sense to put that in the risotto as well. So as soon as this gets absorbed, we will start adding a little bit of broth, and I will talk to you about that shortly. So you can see our risotto is just starting to stick a little bit to the bottom, and this wine is almost absorbed. So what I would like to do now, I've got my vegetable broth waiting in the wings, and I'm just going to add it a cup at a time. Or I'm sorry, half a cup at a time. And stir and wait for it to absorb before I add the next one. This is one of those recipes that when I need a little bit of zen and I'm not looking for something quick, but just something that is so peaceful and enjoyable, and I know that it's the time I'm spending is worth the delicious outcome. So I love kind of just stirring this a little bit, coming back, add a little bit more broth. So I highly encourage the lovely experience. So before I sign off for a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit more broth. And I'll see you when we're getting close to ready to add the vegetables. Well, I have been adding the vegetable broth little by little, and you can see for about the past about 20 minutes, and you can see that our rice is plumping up so nice. I do suggest timing-wise, just kind of look, and you will want to taste. You just don't want them to be firm anymore. And so now we're about ready to add our vegetables. So I'm starting with thin asparagus. You just don't want the chunky kind. And I've taken off the ends and cut these on the diagonal. I will be adding a little bit more stock because I still need a little bit of liquid. And the nice thing about risotto rice is that, or arborio rice, is that you can keep adding the fluid or the liquids, and it's still, it's not going to make it too wet. It's just going to make it creamier. We're just going to add a touch here. And already it's looking so nice and spring-like. So we'll cook these about 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. I don't want them to, I still want them to be a little bit crisp. So the key is to not overcook, but my risotto is almost ready to serve. And so this is just going to be perfect timing. Next, I'm going to add my sugar snap peas, which I have also trimmed off the ends and cut into these diagonal. And along with baby spinach, which I have destemmed and just kind of cut them into strips. I shall add just a little bit more broth to get us through this section, and we're almost ready to finish this lovely spring vegetable risotto off. Look at this gorgeous green, fresh green risotto. I'm going to add a little bit of extra fun here at the end, a little bit more butter, and some shredded Parmesan. That can be done to taste. I think I've put in there about a 1/4 cup. And when you serve, you can absolutely put a little bit more on top. And I also want to add to this lusciousness some fresh herbs, which I have thyme and mint. Mint is a wonderful addition to a lot of savory dishes, not something that has to just be used with sweets. Something else I just kind of thought of, what I think would be real nice, is to kind of maybe squeeze half a lemon in this, or put a little bit of lemon zest to kind of brighten up the flavors. It is a little bit rich, but not too, I mean, look at all those vegetables. It's still pretty healthy for you. So let's take a look at this risotto. Oh my goodness. This will easily serve 8, but this is such a lovely addition. Like if you're serving a fancy protein, I've used this with lamb kind of at Easter time or alongside of a steak, but it is just never fails to impress and is just fantastic. Thanks so much for being crazy with me today, as spring is just around the corner, and I hope that you can enjoy some of the greens in this way. Take care, and I hope to see you again soon.